Hello, my name is Tishan Burris, and this is my 3.12 end of week reflection. I've decided to do a presentation over a summary paper. So, in part one, the four key points from this week's lectures, I decided to choose salary range, employee benefits, job advertisement, and recruitment. So, talking about salary range, what I learned from this is the range, the major swings that you can find in salary ranges, from the East Coast to the West Coast to Central. How much different that the salary range can be per occupations. My occupation was a top level marketing and sales executive, and the range was pretty good. You get in the Northeast, obviously they get paid a lot more up there. Same thing on the West Coast. They get paid a little less than the East Coast or Northeast New York type areas, but it's still up there pretty good. Um, Economics, obviously that didn't really play a factor in my job description. Experience level definitely did. Played a big part in the salary range. The second key point is employee benefits. Talking about what I learned, from the text is voluntary benefits and involuntary, which is the major three that's required by the federal government, and I'll talk about those later in part two or part three, excuse me, of this presentation. Um, Job advertisements. Learned a lot about that. How to do a proper job advertisement. What I think on a proper job advertisement, they need to be somewhat short, but they need to be precise. And they do need to have some good attention getting qualities to them. Obviously, when you're trying to find to fill a position, you want to get people's attention. You don't want to make it boring. It's got to have some pop to it to get people to actually read it. I think when they're too long, it bores people. Unfortunately, sometimes too much information is overkill. And last but not least, on my four key points is the recruitment. What I learned in recruitment, LinkedIn, top notch. They hands down were the winner. And whenever I read a bunch of surveys on recruitment through social media, Facebook. So LinkedIn was more of a great direct recruitment tool. Then you had Facebook and YouTube, which in HR professional surveys that I read followed LinkedIn in ranking. Facebook and YouTube was used more for branding. So I learned a lot about recruitment there this week in my reflection. Part two. Two new things I learned and what I will do with them in the future. Properly detailed job description. I learned a lot about that in creating my job description, the top level sales and marketing executive. I will apply this in the future for future employee placement. Whenever we design a job description, it will be a heck of a lot better than what we've done before. I actually went back and looked at some of the old job descriptions I wrote, and they weren't near as good as the one I wrote for this particular assignment we had this week. The next new thing I learned was parental leave. I always knew that women always had the option to take leave, obviously for childbirth and things of that nature, but I didn't realize that men can too. Men actually can take 12 weeks leave for the birth of a new child. This gives me a better understanding. Obviously, I think as roles have changed a little bit in the families, you're going to see more men taking on some of the responsibilities of the home, especially with the children. And so a lot of times, the request could come up in the future where a male employee might need to take this type of leave, and I needed to know that because when they come to me, it's not going to be surprise, surprise. I'm going to say yes, yeah, I know all about it. So those were some new things that I learned in this week that I will use in the future, especially in my professional life. So then part three, some of the benefits in my company. Just kind of go over those in detail. 401k, we do have that. We have paid major holidays. We have medical, dental, and life. One thing that I do get that I don't have to pay extra on is I get 50,000 life automatic. no matter what. That's just a benefit that I get. It's probably a little different than other companies. A lot of companies don't do that kind of thing, but that was one kind of, the question came up, something that was a little unique. That I felt like that might have been unique. Paid vacations. After 1 year, you get a week. 2 years, you get 2 weeks. After 7, you get 3, and 15, you get 4. And then talking about the administered insurance, we use Blue Cross Blue Shields. It's actually administered by our Climate Master benefits coordinator that resides in our Human Resources Department. They handle all of the administration, all the paperwork, all the updates, the the annual renewal. They handle all that through our HR department. I'm relatively pleased with my benefits. I mean, obviously everybody wants more. I believe that they could subsidize our medical a little bit more. And the other thing is on the 401k, they don't match anything, and I think they need to give us. They probably need to give us a little contribution. I think they need to change that. So that's my part three. In my conclusion, the couple things that were asked to put in the conclusion is, why do employees or employers provide benefits? Well, the reason why is because they use it as a recruiting tool. They use it to retain employees. And the other thing is, whenever you have a good benefits program or package, it prevents the union from coming in and taking a stronghold. So those are the three main reasons why employers provide benefits. The next question was, what 3 benefits are mandated by law? Those mandated benefits are unemployment insurance, Social Security, and workers' compensation. So that was my reflection on 3.12. I've really enjoyed this week. I have learned a lot. It's been a great class so far. I've learned a lot about human resources, a lot more than I ever thought I would. A lot of details. Have a greater respect for my human resources department where I work. So thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.